Hi, welcome to Copenhagen. Thanks for dropping in. Hope everybody is doing well. Today I am going to take my first look at fairy dust diamond painting drills from Diamond Art Club. A few weeks ago I did an unboxing of Foxy Lady from Diamond Art Club, and I noticed on the box it said it contained 3 ABs and 1 fairy dust. Now ABs I am familiar with. Those are the ones that have the special coating and they reflect different colours. So the AB is short for Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. But fairy dust drills is something totally new to me. I was really curious to see what they look like. So I thought I would do this little video in case you are also wondering what is the difference, what are fairy dust drills. So this is the key that I got with Foxy Lady, as usual, numerical order symboled in the DMC code. There were actually 74 colours in this one, so it went on to 2 pages, but it was the last one. So the DMC codes run in numerical order, and at the very end we get this Z959, and that is because it is the fairy dust, the new a new finish on the drills. Diamond Art Club now manufacture their own drills, so they've started playing around with different finishes, and this is the first one that I've seen that is different. So number 74, the last colour in the kit, Z959. So I've got them here in the little container, number 74, and these are the drills. So can't really see them that well in the tub, but you can see there is static, they are sticking. I don't know if that is anything to do with the fairy dust, because I did have some other drills that had static, and I know that Diamond Art Club had been having problems. They had changed something in the manufacturing process and they started to get static. So I think this is probably for the same reason. I don't think it's because they are fairy dust. So the first thing we want to do is pour them out, and so we can get a better look at them. So put that out of the way, give it a little shake. So to try and make this a bit better, I've got a little torch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shine the light on them and see if you can see anything. I haven't tried this. This is all no rehearsals for my videos. They're all just off the bat. So I don't know how well that comes across. In the real world, they are very, very shiny. It is like very, very fine sparkles, like glitter, but very fine. Definitely noticeable. So I don't know if how close I can get these, but I'll try. See if I can focus the light a bit there. I'll try and get a bit closer. Now, I don't really know if that's coming across, but they are very sparkly, very small sparkles. So what I did was, it's Z959, and what I did was I looked through my spare drills, and I have a bag of 959. So the same colour. So what I'm going to do is I'll switch the torch off, and I'm going to move some of the drills. So if you ever think about using tweezers and you're picking drills up, it's better to have the lines up and down so the tweezers can sit in the channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move all the drills out of the way. Oops. one jumped out. And I'm just going to set up a little line. So let's make it what, 10 you think? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 fairy dust, and what I was thinking is I would put another little line. I'll just pour these on the table so I don't get them mixed up. I'll do another little line of 10. Okay. So the problem is I can't shake the table, so I have to turn the drills over. So I was thinking if I do them the same, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then I get them lined up roughly the same. Now these drills, I'm not sure if they came from Diamond Art Club or where they came from. So now we've got the top row are fairy dust and the bottom row are just standard diamond painting drills. So I'm going to try the little torch thing again. Let's see if we can see any difference. Hopefully we can. Now for me there is an obvious difference. I can see the tiny little specks of what looks like glitter in the drills. The colour is darker, but again it's different batch number. In fact, thinking about it, if I get one of the fairy dust and put it upside down so we can see the actual colour of the drill. Yeah, the drills actually are the same colour as the bottom line, but the coating makes them look a bit darker. So that is it. Not ABs, fairy dust drills versus standard, but I've nearly finished the diamond painting. All I've got left to do now is put in the fairy dust drills. So I'm going to do that just now, and you can see how I fill in the gaps, and then we can have a look at the finished piece of Foxy Lady. So this is it, the very last part of Foxy Lady. All I have to do is fill in these little T icons. So the first thing I'll do is switch on the light pad so they show up a lot easier. That way I don't miss any. So I'll just fill them in, and the way that I do it is, as always, I use the checkerboard. So what I do is I miss every second drill. So you can see I'm using this little checkerboard. And this is something that I've done since I started diamond painting. I saw something on YouTube, in fact I saw a few things where people were talking about this checkerboard technique, and it helps to get your drills nice and straight. So I do it all the time. So you can see I've left all the T's, and then all I'm doing is leaving a gap. So I'll fill all of these bits in, and I'll go back and fill in the missing drills basically. The thing about this is, if you use checkerboard, you're only really concentrating on the placement of the first pass. when you come back, all you're doing is filling the gaps. You don't really have to think about it. And the drills, if they are a little bit off, when you push the last drill in, or push the drill in the gap, it automatically pushes the drills around it, so everything squares up. So it's something I would definitely recommend if you're having problems keeping your lines straight. So yeah, this shouldn't take very long. Just hope I've got enough drills. I don't have to think about it too much because the gaps are pretty small. I don't have a lot of area to do like huge checkerboards. This is also the first diamond art club that I've done since they upgraded their canvas and reduced the size of the grid, and it has made a big difference. I did a video quite a while back where I was showing Batman, which was the first one I did when Diamond Art Club started producing their own drills. It was the first diamond painting I did with Diamond Art Club's own drills. They were mega shiny, very, very shiny, but when you look at the canvas up close with the light pad on, the gaps are all over the place. Now that doesn't matter once you're finished and you switch the light off, you don't see them, but I know a lot of people, the irregular gaps irritate them, but it's something I haven't really bothered about because you always get them. But when I started working on this one, I noticed that there is a big improvement. The gaps are a lot smaller. The drills aren't as sort of offset. They are pretty much straight. You still get tiny gaps, but the main thing is you don't get any popping. No drills pop up, because the problem if you don't have any gaps at all is the drills can start to pop up because they're pressing against each other, and it can cause the drills next to them to lift up. So you definitely don't want that. Gaps are definitely better than popping drills. So the new drill field for me has made quite a difference. I think if you've done any Diamond Art Club in the past and the gaps have sort of put you off a bit, I would say give them a try again. Again, not that anything was wrong, but it's just sometimes it just irritates people so much that they switch and they do round drills instead, which actually have bigger gaps than squares, but that's a different subject. So all I'm doing is trying to set it up so that basically I've just got single drills in the gaps, and then I'll go back and fill them in. And as always, I'm looking to make sure that I don't have any little burrs or anything sticking out. Always make sure that your drills are nice and straight on all sides. If you have even a tiny little piece sticking out, it starts to push the drills around it and it can cause problems. So you will get them with any company, you'll get the occasional. Sometimes you'll find with one colour, you just seem to get a lot with one colour for some reason. I think so far I've only seen one. So doing pretty well. So I think that's it. It's, not quite. This little piece. I mean, I don't think many people would bother too much about being exact with this single square thing. but it's definitely a good habit to get into. So as you push the drill into the gap, it pushes all the drills around it, so it automatically squares them up. So that's it. So all I do now is go back and fill in the gaps. Now this can be fiddly with tweezers if you're used to using a pen, putting in these last ones. They will sometimes flip over like that one just did. So basically what I do is I just drop the drill over the gap and then see where the high side is and press down on it, and it sort of slides it into place. And just give it a little press. And you still get the click, even with tweezers. So again, when I drop the drill, I just look to see where the high side is. It's always going to be sitting up at one side, so this time it's the top, so just press down on that, it slides the drill in. That one, it's the bottom, slides in, top. It just depends when you drop the drill, sometimes it'll be a different part. I mean, it isn't as if they're always the top or always the bottom, it's just whatever. I just put it down, see where it's high, pressing the high part, it slides in. What you do sometimes get is when you've been using the tweezers, because they touch the glue, the tips start to get sticky, and sometimes you go to put the drill in and it flips over because it sticks to one of the sides of the tweezer, and then you've got to pick it up again and try and re-maneuver it. Sometimes it just gets a bit fiddly. If that happens, I just wipe the tips, just use my fingers, and then put the drill that I've been messing about with back and pick another one, because I think some of the glue can transfer onto the drill as well. So even though you've wiped the tweezers, because you've tried and tried and tried with the same drill, it might have landed in the square upside down, then it's picked up a little piece of glue. If I'm having problems with one drill, I normally just switch to another one and it's okay. Or sometimes I'll just persevere. So again, high on the left hand side, just press it. What I like about using tweezers, when you're initially putting the drills down, is you can see exactly where you're putting the drill, and the tweezers are lining up with the line of the square. So the bottom of your tweezer, the bottom leg, is in line with the line of the square. So it's an easy guide. But when you come back to fill them in, it's a bit different, because all you're doing is filling space. You're not really thinking about lining up with anything, because the drills do it themselves. So this is drill number 74. It's actually quite a lot of colour. I think most diamond paintings tend to have somewhere between maybe 30 and 40 colours. This one is 74, which I think is actually the most I've had with Diamond Art Club so far. I'm sure they've probably got some that have got more colours, but personally 74 colours from Diamond Art Club is the most I've had. But once I've finished this one, which will be today obviously, I'm going to start prepping up for another diamond painting, not from Diamond Art Club, and it has 197 colours. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will be doing YouTube lives as I work on it. You can see how I prep up the drills and how I work on the diamond painting. if you're interested to see what the actual diamond painting is. I did an unboxing. I'll put a link to it. Nearly there. It doesn't have any fairy dust drills because it's not Diamond Art Club. Actually, it doesn't even have ABs, so it's 197 standard drills, 197 colours of standard drill. See, this one's landed a bit squint. Sometimes it takes a bit of fiddling to get them, but that one was okay. So as I said, it's just a matter of dropping the drill above the square, see how it lands. Whatever side is high, just press down on that and it'll slide the drill into place. I found that the easiest way to do it. So, Foxy Lady from Diamond Art Club is almost finished. The last 3 drills, last 2, and the last 1. So, first thing to do is switch light pad off, and then I think I'll get my little torch. I'll just move it over. The reason that I do this is to get the light moving. I mean, normally it would be you that would be moving past the diamond painting, but just to try and get some reflection. And we've got some ABs over here. You maybe see them. There's a whole chunk here, ABs. You can see they really shine. Much more sparkly than, you can see them in this area here. Just here. Much more sparkly than the drills around them. And then we'll come up to the fairy dust, which are all around this area here. I think they're more subtle because the ABs, it's a whole facet, like a whole flat surface that reflects at the one time, whereas the fairy dust, it's tiny little sparkles. So it's a more subtle sort of look. But it's nice to get that just subtle variation somewhere in between the normal drills and the ABs. So last thing to do now is have a look at Foxy Lady. So that's it, Foxy Lady from Diamond Art Club. 3 AB drills in this one and 1 fairy dust. The fairy dust for me is somewhere in between a normal drill and an AB. The ABs definitely look like they reflect more light because it's a whole surface that's reflecting, whereas the fairy dust, it's covered in very fine sparkles, so it's a more subtle effect. I don't think I'm going to see the real effect until I have it hanging on the wall and I can really get a good look at it when I walk past, just to see how much the fairy dust stands out. But overall, really nice diamond painting. I knew it was going to look good when I saw it was 74 colours and I saw all these different shades of colour in the tail. I think the blending is really good. I've said it many times, I find Diamond Art Club are just so good at this, and they just seem to be getting better and better. So yeah, nice to see a company doing something a bit different, not just ABs and that's it. They do have some other special drills. I'm sure at some point in the future I will be doing reviews of kits that I've got things in them that are a little bit different. So that was Fairy Dust diamond painting drills from Diamond Art Club. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I wasn't sure exactly what they were. Now I know. So basically they are drills with very, very fine glitter. That's what it looks like. They don't have the same reflection as the ABs, which basically the whole area, when the light hits it, it just reflects back, so it's quite a bright reflection. These are far more subtle, just minute little sparkles, so gives a nice effect somewhere in between the normal drills and the ABs. Definitely not as noticeable as the ABs, I don't think, but I have to hang it on the wall and have a look at it as I'm walking past in normal daylight, just the sort of normal setup. Having it on the table with a couple of lights shining on it and using a torch to try and get the reflection just isn't the same, but it was all I could think of to try and give you an idea. Hopefully it came across. I'm aware that sometimes what I see and what the camera sees aren't quite the same. Hopefully it worked. But I did notice that the DMC colour, if you actually looked at the drill at the back, which doesn't have the coating on it, they look quite a bit darker than the actual DMC code. Not that it matters, but I just thought I would mention it. That's why I wanted to compare them directly to just plain drills with the same colour. When I looked at the back, it looked pretty much the same as the standard drills, but looking at the front, it looked quite a bit darker. Are they a gimmick? I wouldn't say so. It just adds another little subtle thing. As I said, Diamond Art Club now create their own drills, so they're free to play around with different finishes and things, which is what they've been doing. The Fairy Dust is the first one that I've looked at. They do have other different ones. So at some point in the future, I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up buying a kit that has something else. So I'll do another little video for that as well. As I said, the next one, now that I've just finished this one, the next one that I'm kitting up has 197 colours. I had to buy another container case. I thought 160 cases or tubs was enough. It wasn't, so I had to order another 80. So if you're interested in seeing how I kit up for 197 colours, that video will be coming up relatively soon. I think within a week maybe. I need to get things sorted out, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on. It's relatively big, 197 colours. It's going to take a bit of time, so if you're interested in seeing the progress live on YouTube, please subscribe and hit the notification button. If you do that, you'll get a little message when I go live or when I post a new video. I have other videos that are in the pipeline, some ideas, things that are a bit different again. I like to try and push the boundary when it comes to things like that, rather than just unboxing. I like to throw in different things. Like recently I had tweezers with a magnifying glass on them that actually worked, which was pretty good. And vaping tweezers, that was different as well. So if you're interested in seeing anything diamond painting related, please subscribe, hit the notification button, and you will get a little message when I post a new video or go live. So that is it for today. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.